Alrighty, so this video is going to talk about the process to make a tape mold. And what you're going to do, well, what a tape mold is saran wrap is laid over an object. This is going to be the object I'm going to use. I had another object I was thinking of doing, but I think that might just be too long of a video. And I thought this would be a really fast thing for me to demonstrate on. So you're going to take saran wrap, right? And you're going to cover this, whatever you're going to make a mold from, completely with saran wrap, because you're actually going to saran wrap your body because you're going to make a figure mold and you don't want the tape sticking to your body. And the saran wrap prevents that from happening. These are tape molds here. And after you lay the saran wrap on, what you do is you get packing tape. And packing tape is just clear tape. You can buy it at a hardware store. You can buy it at CVS, anywhere where there's shipping materials sold, envelopes and stuff like that. Here's some leftover packing tape that I have. Doesn't matter what brand. It's just clear packing tape's fine. I mean, you can use whatever color you have. It's not a big deal. It's you're going to cover it anyway, so the aesthetics of it doesn't matter. And then after that, then you use your scissors, and you can kind of see that there's a seam here, and you cut the thing apart so you can take it off, and then you take little pieces of tape, and then you tape the seam back together. And you want to do about 3 to 4, maybe sometimes even 5 layers of packing tape. So you might need about 2 to 3 rolls. And so you need about 3 to 4 layers of this to hold its form. And even after that, because you're going to make a figure at some point, this is just learning the process, but you're going to make a full figure, and you can't make a figure in piecemeal. You can't do a leg here and a leg there and try to bend it. You have to bend your body and then make the mold. Otherwise, it's not going to appear lifelike by any means. That being said, you're going to have to stuff it with something. So you might be wondering what the heck this is here for. So this is called Big Gap Filler. It's a company called Great Stuff, and they sell this in any hardware store, Home Depot or something like that. This is one way of filling. Another way of filling, though, is if you have an Amazon delivery, these little air pocket bags are great. Or if you have leftover newspapers, you can shove newspapers in here and keep like packing it down, or just paper, craft paper, wrapping paper, any kind of paper, just things or stuff that you might put in the recycling, put in here. So you don't necessarily have to go purchase this Big Gap stuff, but I've heard this works, and we're going to give it a try today. And it does take some time to cure and to expand, but this is the Big Gap Filler. Means it expands up to 3 inches 3 times its size. All right, so I'm going to put these on the side. What we're going to do is we're going to make this, and I hope you can see everything that I'm doing. I'm just going to, there we go. I think that would be a little better for you. All right. So what I'm going to do here is just get my saran wrap, and I'm going to wrap it around. Now this was in the refrigerator, so there's actual milk in here. I'm going to be fast because I don't want it to be outside the refrigerator for too long. The nice thing about saran wrap, it kind of like magnets itself onto the form. So I'm wrapping it around every part, making sure everything is covered. And you want to hug it as much as you can to the form, mold it as much as you can to the form. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to grab your packing tape, and I should have done this before I made the video, and you got to find out where the starting point is. Oh, seriously? All right, here we go, found it. And it's something I recommend doing. Don't lay it down like I just did there, because it's hard to find the seam. I always like to fold the end of it, so if I lay it back down, I can pick it up, I can find it. That's annoying. So what I'm gonna do is, you could pull this out like this and cut it into strips. Oh, Jesus Christ. sorry, that wasn't supposed to happen. You can pull this out and cut it into strips and just put the strip somewhere and then just work a strip by strip by strip. And that's the way to do it. I think I might go that route in a second. And for fastness, to expedite the process, what I'm gonna do is use my teeth. Probably not a good idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway. All right, so I got a good start here. And as I'm doing this, I'm trying to mold the tape down. So you wanna just see if I can go around this. This is a simple form to go around a bunch of times. Now I will say, it's kind of loud, clearly. And I'm just gonna wrap this around and around and around. And like I said before, you need about 3 or 4 layers, at least 3 layers for this to be substantial. So I'll probably use this whole roll here and then I'll have to open that other roll. Maybe this is faster. You're gonna find your own little systems. And I know I have about 2 layers on the top here. A couple things I'm gonna do is, don't recommend using your teeth. It doesn't taste very good. All right, so a couple of things. I just want to make sure the top has some layers. So I'm just gonna do a couple layers on the top. And again, you just want to form the tape to the object as much as you can. Let me do 4 layers on the top here. And so for practice, what you're going to do is you're going to practice an object. It could be like a soda can. It could be something like this. It could be a pot. I don't know, anything. Something stuffed animal. Do underneath here. I don't know what a stuffed animal will really look like anything because it's kind of a squishy object. It's better if it's something that's kind of hard. And then after that, you're going to do this to your leg, but your knee down and foot. And then you're going to stuff it with a material, and that's going to be your practice round, just so you understand how this works and you can do it. And then you're going to think of an idea of what you're going to do for the project. So again, I'm just putting a bunch of layers on the bottom because I couldn't really hit this part as I was wrapping around the object. Uh-oh, see, I lost my darn starting point. This does not make good television, does it? There we go. All right, so I might have enough on the bottom for now. And again, it's obnoxious in terms of being loud. So that's the end of the rope for that piece there. What I'm going to do is form it, really form it down. This is what you want to do. Now, when you're doing this to your leg, you want circulation in your leg. Otherwise, your toes are going to start to turn blue and purple. So when you're putting the tape on, be a little careful, especially if you use a family member as one of your models to make a form with, or they use you, or whatever the case is. This is annoying too. So what I'm trying to say is you need circulation, blood circulation. So you really have to be careful and you want to be safe. And if you, for example, if you start with the tape, what the heck is going on here? This is a different brand, so it might not be as thick, or it could be thinner. Different brands are gonna have different. Holy cow. Oh, what am I doing? There's the starting point right there. You're probably watching this video being like, what an idiot. All right, this doesn't matter. I'm just gonna have the sticker on it. So if you're making a mold of the leg and you're pulling this, you're gonna add more pressure and you're really gonna cut off the blood circulation. So you have to be conscious of that, and you don't wanna hurt anybody. So make sure that when you're putting this on, that you're gently applying the tape around, and then you can just squeeze it with your hand to make sure that there's enough there. So again, I'm putting a lot on here, and I'm just gonna stop in a second, just for the sake of the video. Okay, that's good enough. I'm going to cut this, I'm gonna fold this so I can find it later. And then I'm going to really smush this down. All right, this almost looks like a, what's that, bowling pin. Okay, next thing you're gonna do, after you've smushed it all down, molded it well, then you're gonna start to cut this out. To cut it out, hold on one second. You might have to use one of these guys, but if you're working with a live person, then you want to be very careful how you go about this. So what I'm going to do is just cut in here, and that might allow the scissors to get in there, and you're going to cut a seam. If you ever had, this is really white part here. If you ever had someone or a cast or something like that, that's basically what they're doing. They cut the cast out. There you go. You kind of see that I'm just cutting the seam. So this is nice here. This is nice and thick. Super thin right there. I didn't do a good job all the way around. So you want to make sure that you have a nice thick wall of tape. And I'm just trying to do this quickly because of the video. I would normally take my time here. All right, that was a smart thing to do. So once you have that, then you can take it out of the mold. Voila. Put it on the side, put it back in the fridge, which I don't have to do. And then see what I mean by the thick walls? These ones that were made before, these do not have thick walls. This is one layer, and they're kind of flimsy. You don't want these to be flimsy, you want these to be substantial. And then after that, then you're gonna take some of this tape. Good thing I cut this off. And you're gonna get little tiny pieces right here and line it up to exactly where you cut it before. Try to line it up perfectly. And then you're just gonna marry the seam back together. There you go. And you're gonna do it all the way up. And just take your time so it looks decent. And of course I'd finish here, I finish here, but I basically have a replica of almond milk. How cool is that, right? So tape molds are super fast, super fun.